The worst horror movie I ever saw was fucking great.
Hello and welcome to This May Hurt a Bit. My name is James Strayer and this is
John C. Myers.
And we're a horror franchise podcast discussing each film in horror franchises. And today we're wrapping up all of our Warlock chats. So 3 movies, I would say, 2 out of the 3, pretty great. Third one, not awful, but as far as, I don't know, there must be a math term for this, like, I don't know, maybe just percentages. High percentage.
Right, yeah, right.
2/3, 66%, whatever.
Fractions.
Math.
Fraction of good.
From bad, or bad from
too
good.
Bad, yeah.
Right. 2 great movies. The first one was the only one I think both of us had seen. So the other 2 were new, which is, again, always half the point of this show for me. So I was glad, especially to have been introduced to part 2 for sure.
A thing that I found interesting about them, like as a whole, the series as a whole, there wasn't really a through line in the sense that, we lose at no point did it really feel like these were the same Warlock.
Sure.
This was the same Warlock every time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe there was an allusion in 2 to it being the same, but it didn't really matter. It more just was like Alien in that regard of just like, no, it's a kind of thing that's coming to get you rather than a specific guy. Even though it was Julian Sands, but also like Alien, the movies were very different
for sure.
Like they had the core conceit there, but they were different takes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Much different than say like a I'd argue even the first 3 Leatherface movies, the first 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, like clearly because it was Tobe Hooper behind the first 2. So it's like, well, no, here's my other riff on it. Where these are 3 different directors that brought their own styles. Yeah. Particularly like, the Anthony Hickox one shines above the other ones. But so I thought that was kind of interesting. And then on top of that, I really liked how throughout this, the Warlock was never defeated by the black magic was never defeated by white science, for better word. There was some there was I couldn't find it, but there was some article, some critique that was done of horror movies that kind of talked about that sort of thing, where like the way you defeat this past, almost like with the folk horror thing, is the kind of more modernity. So you defeat the black magic of the past with the white science of today. I think they mean white in terms of good, but it could also, good
old white science. Take sugar out.
Oh, it looks like Stephen Miller wrote that actually. Now that I'm seeing that, maybe I should have quoted that.
Yeah. But, something about eugenics.
But more that what I'm getting at is that I like that you never beat the Warlock with like, well, if I pray to Jesus hard enough, or if I'll use science to defeat him. Right. Arguably, the science was done in the first one with the syringes full of salt water.
There you go.
Okay, sure. But in general, people fought the Warlock with Warlocky tools, like other folklore stuff. Right. It was, for being a, ostensibly an arm of the church, Giles Redfern, he's salting his whip. He's using the witch's blood on this contraption he's made. That's some like dark magic stuff. Second one is all training druids, druids training druids. And then the third one is like, her mom was doing some magic stuff too to the Warlock. Yeah. So I like that aspect of it, that it wasn't just, hey, we can beat the past by being modern, or we can beat the past by through praying and through Judeo-Christianity, that they kept it Warlock versus Warlock to a degree.
Sure. Although in the end of the second one, though, doesn't he turn on some truck lights?
He does. Technology is involved.
Yes.
But I still think, actually, that's a good question, because that might have just blown up my whole spot.
Yeah. Because they did say it, like there's some sort of modernity, like I can't remember. It was like the light will shine on him, and all they had to do was like turn on the truck lights at the end.
Well, they had to like charge up. That's what it was. They had to charge up the jewels with the truck lights.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So, yes, but still science creating this magic.
Right.
So I'm still a genius. I'm counting that.
Boom.
but I think so there's definitely technology like mixed in there, because the third one, definitely not. The third one is just, here's a dagger out of a doll somehow
that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's still, in that way, it was sort of using modernity in a magical way, I guess, like it's delivering the thing. It wasn't like, it didn't depend on It wasn't like his skin was hard and the only way to beat him was putting that stuff in his blood. It just was a nice, a useful tool for that.
Totally.
And then the lights charged the magic stones because they needed that. I forgot that was the whole.
Right.
Yeah.
I just remember that being so goofy where he turned on some like big like redneck truck lights and it zapped the Warlock. But
whatever. Which is just hey, who am I to question magic? They know more than me. Those sorcerers, but it does seem weird to or a bad idea to be like, yeah, the thing that's most likely going to happen at night. The only way to stop it is to charge this stuff up with light from the day.
With light. Yeah.
Go back to the drawing board on that one.
Guest on part 2 pointed out, Stephen Kostansky, just saying it's a great case in this series of the first one laying the groundwork and then the second one taking that up 10 levels, which is always a great idea, great time. Taking those makeup effects, dialing them up to 10. And, it doesn't make me dislike the first one at all. It just kind of puts it in a slightly different context to me. But then that second one just says, we know what you're here for. Let's drill down on those even more, which made it a lot more fun and made the tone slightly different. So, yeah, each one of these has a different feel, different director, and kind of a different tone to it. Yeah,
well, it's like, we've said before that we enjoy the when it gets a little silly with it. And that usually happens in the second one.
Yeah.
Is that heightening of everything. And they just sort of cut the fat out of like the
little boy's fat out.
They cut the little boy's fat out and let this movie soar. Because you don't have the fish out of water stuff, really, any of that. It's just in terms of like the Warlock himself, it's magic time.
By the time in the second one, I just thought that our lead protagonist was just not nearly as charming as Redfern was. And so by that point, I was having more fun following the Warlock around. And so he became kind of the protagonist that I was like almost rooting for. Whereas I was rooting for Redfern in the first one.
Right. I mean, because you have these in the first one, these two very handsome, charismatic actors, the Richard E. Grant and Julian Sands. You don't have that for the second one. And no offense to that actor. I'm not Richard E. Grant, so I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yeah.
Julian Sands is a captivating performer. Yeah. And so, focus on him because then he gets to be bigger and sexier and sillier.
Right.
Rather than just being this menace that's slowly moving through things.
Right.
And so that was more fun. The idea is that this is, I guess, whether or not it's the same Warlock, it's Julian Sands. And if you've seen the first one and you like Julian Sands, you're going to go see that.
I want more Julian Sands.
You're going to go see this one. Right. And so they gave us more Julian Sands. It works. Yeah. And it was also a very fun movie.
Right. Gave him some, a couple of one-liners, about the black clothes, about, what does he say? Something about you're leaking blood. I can't remember that little bit at the gas
when he's
station.
like, you're bleeding the black blood. And he's like, well, then fill me up.
Yeah,
and,
there you go. Yeah. So he got to do a little bit more, much like Freddy Krueger. You throw some one-liners at the creepy villain in the second movie.
Yeah, some fun double entendres.
Which changes the feel for sure, but I'm all for that. Mentioning Julian Sands, I would say, so who is our favorite actor portraying the Warlock here? And that's not even worthy of a discussion, hardly. Yeah. But just saying, poor dear in the third movie didn't do a bad job, but admittedly, he took it in a slightly different direction. That Warlock was more serious.
Yes, this is and Bruce. Two. Yeah, Bruce Payne made the Warlock his own thing.
Yeah,
totally fine with Bruce Payne. Yeah, no shade to Bruce Payne.
Right.
The movie around him wasn't that good and didn't support him that character well enough.
Right.
As we talked about, it's a lot more psychological of him trying to control, manipulate people versus shooting guys with finger guns
or walking down invisible stairs.
Right, blowing up buildings. It's just him going like, "Hey, I think this lady likes you."
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, manipulating others. More so than like killing other people in fun ways. Speaking of kills, best kill in the series for you. Do you have a preference?
I mean, like that. I don't want to say that my favorite one was when they killed that kid. Yeah. But that was just very shocking to me. It's surprising that they did that.
Right.
I mean, the birth scene in the second one is so great and is so goopy and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I think the only kill that I'm kind of like ho hum on is when he drops the woman from the extreme height when he teaches her to fly.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, I mean, it was a cool, like crashing through the ceiling or whatever, but it just didn't have, it wasn't as fun and silly as some of the other ones.
Sure. I got to go with the tearing of the scalp on the woman in part 2.
That is so ridiculous.
It was unexpected up until you realize that that the Warlock is just getting annoyed with her. And this is one of those just like, he's not killing her to gain a stone or to achieve a goal. He's just annoyed. So he tears her scalp off and tosses her out the car.
Yeah. And it's like, it seems like maybe it's after the fact. He's like, you know what? I bet I could wet up this map. I could use this. This actually works out in my favor.
Yeah. 2 birds with 1 scalp.
2 birds with 1 scalp. Yes.
So yeah, that's got to be my favorite. Although, I mean, I think that's it really. Because a couple of the kills in the first one are even off screen, like the boy. But because it's a kid, I'm not saying that I want to see that death. But that's an interesting way to go about it, because when you realize that he kills that boy,
it's a bit more shocking in a way, because then you're kind of imagining what happened. It's putting it on you.
He's just camping out, boiling fat.
But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of really glamorous kills. I mean, like the original, what he was supposed to do to Mary Warrenov in the first one, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
That's because that's pretty out there. But since they didn't like it didn't work well, whatever, with them, we didn't get that.
Right. Yeah.
So going to war with the armies that we have. Yeah. It's definitely stuff from 2 is probably my most favorite.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of it is also my favorite kill from that. Might also just be when the guy's dad just shoots him. Like, just inexplicably, it's like, hey, there's my dad. He's got to wait. What?
Yeah.
And he goes flying 40 feet backwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Do we like the fantasy tone to this? Because as we talked about in the first one, like, it's still a horror movie, but it could be argued that this is more of a kind of fantasy adventure movie, especially the first one, like a kind of a road movie. And in the second one, like druids and shit, like that's fantasy. So I personally dig that kind of thing. Absolutely. And it is like a nice change of pace from our usual like slasher fare or like ghosts or something like that. So I dug all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not all super dark and moody. It's got a much lighter tone and is a bit more for the first 2 in particular, a bit more of a high adventure kind of thing. But yeah, it works for me. I think they execute that very well, and you still get those horror elements in there of, like, again, that opening kill in the second one is great. The birthing scene and some of the other stuff, because you just get all these, as Kostansky mentioned, a bunch of these like set pieces.
Yeah.
And those are all very fun, which I think is something that the third one was lacking a bit, is that the third one wasn't interested in being as fun. And I mean, obviously they were more limited on budget and what they could do, and that's going to limit some stuff. And they had its moments, like when she throws the drawer at him psychically.
Yeah.
You know. But
you don't think having the Warlock over for dinner 3 nights in a row is fun?
for an inexplicable amount of meals? Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Just hang here. I would hate it if you got wet. And some of that might also, we're in the Pacific Northwest, and
that's true.
We get a ton of rain. The weather out here sucks, but maybe Irish rain is just devilish.
That could be. Yeah. Warlockish.
You rewatch The Devil's Rain and you realize it's all taking place in Ireland.
Yeah. I mean,
it's Borgnine in Ireland.
I think that we were in agreement on the tonal shift to part 3 being not quite as good, in like the seriousness of part 3 is not really why I enjoyed the first 2 movies. So like I like the jokey tone, the like more fun tone, the more 80s feel of the first 2. We had compared this, the third one, to potentially being like Wishmaster 3. Yeah.
And I do still think that Wishmaster 3 tries to hold on to some of the campy tone of the first 2. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do as great of a job, whereas this one largely eschews that. Like this Warlock, the Warlock in 3 is serious.
Yes.
He's getting stuff done. He's on a mission. He needs to get Satan a wife.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having that much fun doing it.
Right. Well, he has to go through all the friends. It sounds like he has more of like kind of handcuffs about how he can achieve this. And he's like, I got to talk to this whiny guitar guy and get him to like turn traitor somehow. That's not nearly as fun as like running around turning people into like sculptures and shit. So,
right. Which we had mentioned in the first one that what Zamiel or whatever his name was wanted was pretty like nebulous. There's like, just, hey, my Bible's here for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, rather than get it when it was all together, I need you to go get it. And then you'll bring it back to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was at least something where the Warlock could play and have fun with it and was free to do his own thing. Just give me that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, in the third one, it's a lot more like, okay, look, I need you to go do this, but you can't just bring her to me.
Yeah.
Because like I'd feel awkward about it. I'd feel bad. You need to convince her. But if that might not work either, because I'm Satan. So what you need to do is convince her friends to just give her up. Right. I think that will work.
Turn her friends into snitches somehow.
Right. Yeah. But not directly. Like, you have them give you their songs or a photo of them. It's just, it's needlessly complex in this way that's frustrating. Whereas when it's a little bit more like, go and collect this thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit more high adventure. That's a bit more fun and keeps things moving versus just like, all right, now always be closing.
Yeah.
Take it over to this guy.
Bruce Payne has a lot of more red tape to get through. And so he can't enjoy his job. You know, like Julian Sands. Which
now I'm wanting to watch a Glengarry Glen Ross of Warlocks.
Okay.
That would be fun. Like the Satan comes in and like the Alec Baldwin, maybe he's like Beelzebub or something like that. Yeah, but he's like, you don't know shit. You got to go do this. Right. Julian Sands, like the Ricky Ramone or whatever, the Al Pacino character that's like closing every deal.
Totally.
Bruce
Blood
Payne
is for closers.
Is Shelley the Machine. Yeah. I almost had this one.
Right. If we were to go forward with another Warlock, we'll get to the concept here in a second. But since Julian Sands is sadly passed on from us last year, who'd make a good Warlock?
So I would say probably we could take it in a certain direction. We could go Simon Says era Dan Cook. Would be just vamping the whole time, doing his raptor walk.
Yeah.
I think people would really enjoy that. No, I mean, I don't want to see this.
Okay,
this would have to be like pretty big budget.
Mm-hmm.
You could put Jared Leto in there. Whoa. Don't put Jared Leto in there. But like he would be
Morbin time all over.
It would be Morbin time, but like he would have to, like he would be able to be it would be somewhere between Morbin and the Joker.
Yeah.
I still like that's not a recommendation. I'm just saying I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I think it's just because Tron Ares being terrible is on my mind.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that would be you'd want someone like suave and a little bit sexy and silly, probably British.
Maybe it's a little too close to the original, but I'm thinking Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Not Bill Skarsgård, who's Pennywise, but the other Skarsgård who was in the Northman and that kind of thing. So give him his long
he's a bit of a goof. He could be a bit of a goof. So
I think he may even kind of want to do that. I mean, he's been in those Cronenberg movies where he's like all sexy and weird and all that kind of thing. So that's where I go. So
yeah, that would be a fun one.
But
because like all these actors I think of like are way too old now, but you could still do it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You'd basically be like, hey, can you do Julian Sands in this movie?
I mean, that's
like,
the thing. Yeah.
It's hard to get away from that, but put your own spin on it.
Mm-hmm. But that's fine. I want to see a suave Warlock like that. Who gets goofy occasionally. So.
Jim Carrey from the number 23, like that, the dark goth Jim Carrey.
Right.
He could actually talk out of his butthole.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. He's like, I've waited 35 years to do this for real.
The technology finally caught up to my butthole.
Concept wise, like, I don't know really what you do with it at this point beyond just doing like another quest. I mean, okay, so who would you have as the foil? The Redfern or I don't know actor wise who I really care to do that because that's a little bit more of your average role, I guess. There's not as much to really chew on there. And as far as like who it would be, like I sort of don't care. I just want to see the Warlock do Warlocky things. Each
one of the protagonists and all three of them kind of reach back to the Warlock himself or like that style of magic or that belief system, whatever, as we talked about, where it's magic versus magic. Or in the third one, the fact that she was the descendant of, this other witch or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So that could be fun. It's like you could do almost a Warlock versus the Craft kind of thing, where it's, some high school goths getting over their heads and have to deal with it, or to put more of a youth spin on it or something like that. But I think, like you said, it doesn't really matter. In terms of that, because it seems like the moves with this are probably going to be he's resurrected to go do something, or he's around and we need to stop him. Right. Whatever it is, who's ever going to be leading that charge. Somebody.
Don't really care. I just want to see, I want to see the Warlock do goofy spells on people and such. And obviously we want the Wishmaster versus Warlock to happen. Sure. Like that's the no-brainer. If
we have to do a Freddy versus Jason kind of thing, that would work. But yeah, I think it's, the weakest, a lot of the weakest parts of part 2 are the protagonist and the love story. Mm-hmm. The training is fun enough, but it's just Star Wars. It's just that kind of thing. So generally, you're focusing, it's more fun when you're focusing on him and what he's up to.
Yeah. God, I wonder if there's a way where you could just make him straight up the actual protagonist and there's like, somehow he's the good guy. Right. Yeah. You turn him like anti-hero. And usually I don't really like that so much, but I wonder if there's a way, he has to fight a bigger demon or something so that we can hang out with him more.
Right. Or like that's going on, but then we have the protagonist being like, oh, golly, we stopped, maybe they summoned the other guy first or.
Yeah. It's the Hannibal Lecter. Like we got to go talk to the Warlock to help us out.
Right. Yeah. And he's in the thumb screw, toe screw things in the first one. And he's like,
you came to see me.
Yeah.
Only I can defeat whoever.
He's still in the same church from the first one with the priest that inexplicably knows everything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's only 3 movies here, and I think we about covered it, really. There's not a whole lot of changing over these films, and I don't know. I liked most of it, so,
Yeah, as we always ask, how far away does the series get from Baghead? Meaning the Jason of part 2, how far Jason X got from the Jason part 2 is that this is pretty much the same. Yeah. It's the same guy. It's just different takes on what if you had to fight a magic guy.
Right.
And Bruce Payne's a little different, but the spirit of the whole thing's still there.
Very much so.
It's just a little bit more like tamped down and not self-serious, but just less joyful.
Right.
Because they didn't have the budget for joy. That was way too much money.
And lastly, I'm sure we're in agreement on this. Which one would you put in again later on? And I'm sure it's part 2.
Oh, 2. Yeah, 2. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would watch 1 again. I still, I still like that one a lot, but 2 is so much fun.
Right. So that would be the one to watch with friends if you haven't already. So, all right, everyone, what was your favorite? I hope you liked part 2. As
you
much
better,
as,
damn it.
if you didn't, I kind of don't understand, but, let us know which one you like the best. Again, there's only 3 and nobody's going to pick part 3. So I would imagine you're all going to. But obviously part 1 for me was a nostalgic thing. So sometimes that nostalgia runs really deep. And so there's a loyalty there. So I understand that. But John, we're hitting the Halloween season full force right now. And it's time for us to pick another franchise. Let's go Fright Night.
Go Fright Night.
Let's go Fright Night. I have some affinity for the first one, I think like most people do. And then there's various weird sequels that I have not seen. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, this is another situation where I have only seen the first one. It's also like Pet Sematary, where you've got a movie and a sequel and then a remake and a remake sequel.
Exactly.
That I doubt the remake sequel is an actual sequel. The remake of the sequel.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to the remake. That all made sense, I'm sure.
And something like that.
Yeah, you get what I'm going for. Yeah, and I've heard that the remake itself is supposed to be pretty good, so I'm excited to dig into these. And a good excuse to watch Chris Sarandon do stuff is always fun.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched Fright Night, and I think it's a Halloween set movie. People are going to be screaming right now at me that I can't remember that, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I can't remember. So I kind of wanted to do one that was like kind of took place on Halloween night type of deal. So
sure,
I could be completely wrong. I don't remember.
Actually, we didn't want to get into the big boy Halloween one.
Not yet.
We're still coming down from the highs of Hellraiser.
Yes, right. All right, everyone. So fire up your Fright Night Blu-rays, or I believe it's on Shudder this month too. At least the first one is. I'm not sure about the sequels, but I think they're pretty easy to find. So jump into Fright Night and meet us right back here in about a week or so. So until then, you can email us at thismayhurtabitpod@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram at hurtabitpod. And I don't know, both of us float around on Blue Sky every once in a while. So yeah. Talk to us there.
Yeah, and go see Deathstalker.
Go see
Steven Kostanski's Deathstalker.
Yeah, I just saw it. I'm still processing it, deciding if I like it or not. Just kidding. It was fantastic. I was just going to talk about it just a tad more on next week's episode, since, you know, more people listen to the first one in our series than the wrap up. So I'll definitely give a little bit of an overview on that one. So
but you freaks that like the wrap ups, you get a little special treat.
Yeah, you're our people. So go see Deathstalker. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.
This has been a Caretaker Press production. It was produced by James Strayer and edited by John C. Myers. Logo by Ethan Kimberling and music by Michael Arthur Holloway, who you can find on Bandcamp. Follow us on Instagram at thismayhurtabitpod and email us at thismayhurtabitpod@gmail.com. Give us a 5-star review over on your favorite podcast app, and we'll see you next time.